All right, you guys, so today the next part of what we need to learn and this next step is actually how to make a data table. So in order to do that, guess what? Guess what you need to know? You need to know your independent and your dependent variable. Shocked? Are you shocked that you need to know that? So surprise, surprise, you need to know what your independent and your dependent variable is. So our question, we're going to use the color of light question and how it affects root length, and we're going to then create our data table. So the very first thing you're going to do when you're creating a data table is to draw a big square. Okay? So draw a square, draw a box. Step 2, label the left side of the box. So as far over to the side of the box, label that side with the independent variable. So if we were to just put independent variable there, we could make a generic data table. But in this case, we know what our independent variable is. It's the color of light. So we're going to label that color of light. So that's step 2. Step 3 is draw a line to divide that box. So next to the color of light, we're going to draw a line straight down to divide out the independent variable. Next step, write your dependent variable across the top of the larger box. So again, here's the dependent variable, so that would be the generic version. Since we know our dependent variable is length of root, of the roots, we're going to replace that and write length of roots right there. So that is our step 4. Okay. Once we've done that, the next step is to draw a line under the words for your dependent variable. So you can see now we've kind of divided that off again. Now, usually we have a number of things, a number of times we're going to collect data. So the next thing that we're going to do is step 6 is we're going to draw another line under the words for the independent variable. Super simple. See how we've just kind of created a box to divide out our dependent variable. Okay, how many different pieces of data we're going to collect about it. Now, next we need to think about how many sections we need for our independent variables. So just like we had to decide how many alternative hypotheses we need to determine how many sections we need, and it's based on the number of different things you're testing. So in this case, we're going to need 3 sections because we are using 3 different colors of light. So we're going to divide that box right here, like we did, into 3 sections, 1, 2, 3. And then we're going to label them. Guess I did that twice. So we're going to move the blue light over, the red light over, and the green light over. So we took those 3 and we labeled it. Okay, that's step 8. Step 9, we're going to divide the remaining boxes into 4 sections. 1 for each trial or each attempt at the experiment, and then 1 for the average. So I just took that and divided. If you go back 1, you can see I don't have any divisions here. Actually, we'll go back 2. No divisions here, but then I'm going to take it and I'm going to divide this in half and then into fourths. So you can see from here to here, I divided that into fourths. Okay. Now I'm going to label the top of that trial 1, trial 2, trial 3, and average. And then I want to add a title. So the title, like we said yesterday, or in the other post earlier today, the title just is to add your question. So I just took the question, or changed it to how the independent variable affects the dependent variable. But this case, we could just be, does the color of light, sorry, I put here, how does, I didn't put the actual one in yet. So now it says how the color of light affects the plant root, or does the color of light affect the root length in plants? So all I did is take my question and move it to the top there. So now it's going to be your turn. So you're going to go to the next step and you're going to complete the data table for our Clover experiment. So what you'll find is, here's our question, our independent variable and our dependent variable, and you're going to give me a title and fill in the independent and the dependent variable, not on this slide, but in step 4. So to get there, you're going to go to your class work tab and go to step 4, open that up, and do the practice problem there. So when you open that up, okay, there's an intro. It's really slow tonight in loading. Really slow in loading. Really slow in loading. Wow. Okay, so now what you see here is it says, use the information from the slideshow in step 3. So I made a link right back to the slideshow if you don't remember how to do things, to complete the data table for our Clover experiment on the next slide. To put the information in, you need to double click in each box to type your answers. So for example here, if you want to type the title, you just double click there and the cursor will show up and you type in the title. So that's what you need to accomplish today for the rest of the class period. Good luck. I'll help you if you need any.